everybody, my name is Star Raptor and welcome to the channel. This is my review for Season 3 of Jessica Jones. It's a pretty big deal because this is actually the last season of Marvel Netflix television. So getting into it, this one picks up the pieces after the events of Season 2 of Jessica Jones. There is a little bit of light spoilers going in here, by the way. So we have the aftermath of the death of Jessica Jones' mother at the hands of Trish Walker, aka Hellcat. So we deal with the repercussions of all that. In the meantime, we have this new serial killer that ends up surfacing in the area that they are at in Manhattan, and it's up to both Trish Walker and Jessica Jones to kind of go head to head in a way and maybe even team up perhaps to try to take down this serial killer. And that's basically the gist of Season 3 of Jessica Jones. With that being said, a couple things I want to highlight. First off is actually seeing Jessica Jones now doing work as a PI in kind of a hero-related manner, where she is embracing herself as a hero. She knows it's a tough job. She's not as jaded as she was anymore. She's still very jaded, but compared to what she was before, she's actually taking somewhat of pride in what she is doing. And I like seeing how she's actually tackling these problems with like a noir-esque kind of feel. I feel like this season does that more than any other season. We really get into her headspace. There's lots of this narration, the way the lighting is, the way the music is. It really does feel like this PI detective story, which is pretty neat. I do like how we see Jessica Jones vulnerable in multiple points of this series. So you do see how she's not as much as like a superhero that's impregnable and vulnerable as you might expect, which does add to more risk and more suspense to the story. I do like seeing the consequences raised up and trying to put these two characters together from Trish Walker killing Jessica's mother in the last season. So we have that kind of conflict going between, which it ends up making these characters way more complex than I thought they were. And also the opponent that is Jessica's main adversary, I think it's pretty cool because this is a character that isn't really a hero, but his skills, his intelligence is so very high that he is still managing to stay one step ahead of Jessica Jones. And you can just see that this could be just one of her historical kind of little files here of her going back and forth to try to, what she does in everyday life basically, of how she tackles this kind of criminal for the most part. Unfortunately, that is all I liked about Jessica Jones Season 3. I do have quite a few things that really didn't stick well with me in this season. First off is this season's just way too slow. And it's just every episode, there are little things here and there, but I went through some entire episodes, just sitting here thinking, did I essentially just waste, 50 minutes of my time because it's just talking. And you think it's a Marvel show, you think there's going to be more action. And it definitely feels like a lot of these characters even are a waste of time. These characters, in the long scheme of things, they could have been cut out entirely of this series, and I wouldn't have missed them. I wouldn't have felt like they were integral to the story, which is a big deal because, again, 13 episodes, and I feel like I say this almost every time with these Marvel Netflix series, is they just felt like there was like a lot of filler in these episodes. It's certainly at the point where they go back in time and they're doing like parallel stories to what already had been shown from another character's point of view. So at that point, it's like, okay, they really are trying to fill in the pockets of time if they're essentially just telling the same story from a different perspective, which, yeah, it does flesh out the characters a little bit better, but I think they could have picked up the pace. So, just the fact of me not feeling very excited watching these episodes made it very hard for me to deem, it's worth watching this season of television, because when it comes down to it, this is not just the last episode of Season 3. This is the last episode, the last season of any Marvel Netflix television series we will have, in the way that it goes out with a whimper. There really wasn't any crossover, which I think is a very much a missed opportunity, especially now that we have all these other characters that could really just show up, and really there isn't really much of like a meaningful crossover in this episode, which makes it very disappointing. So with that being said, I'm going to give Jessica Jones Season 3 a score of a 6 out of 10. That's right, this is going to rank it as my lowest score, my lowest rating for a Marvel Netflix series, and I was really hoping for this to go out on a high note. Like I just said, this is the last of the Marvel Netflix series, and here we are, with one of the ones that I found was just okay. It wasn't terrible, it wasn't bad, it wasn't great, it wasn't good. It was just alright, it was just okay. So what do you guys think of Jessica Jones Season 3? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. If you guys like this kind of content, I have other TV reviews as well as movie reviews, lots of Star Wars talk on the channel. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, you can go ahead and support the channel simply by subscribing. That is going to do it for me, Star Raptor. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @StarRaptor.